Hi, this is Ridea Keeping It Real, and we are reading through the Bible using the Good News Bible, and we're on the Wisdom of Solomon. We're in the Apocrypha. We're on the Wisdom of Solomon. We have read chapters 1 through 3. We're on chapter 4. When I left off on chapter 4, it was talking about illegitimate children, children born out of wedlock. And it was deep what it was saying. And then so I kept reading. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just waking up. It's the Sabbath. And I kept reading. I've read through chapter 6. Um and then I did a little bit of research about this, what it was saying about children born out of wedlock, and reference some Bible verses here about that we can talk a little bit about, because it's harsh what it's saying. So here we go. We are on the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4. It's better to have virtue. I had to look up the word virtue because it seems like that's a big deal in this chapter. The virtue is behavior showing high morals. So it's better to have virtue, even if it means having no children. Your virtue will be recognized by other people and by God. And here, 1 second. Your virtue will be recognized by other people and by God. You will be remembered for it forever, living by high morals. Virtue provides an example for people to follow. When it's not there, they miss it. It has always been the finest prize a person can win, and it always will be. It is the noblest of all the good qualities a person can have. No matter how many children are born of a forbidden union, back to that again, none of them will ever amount to anything. That's hard for me to accept. They are illegitimate. They can never lay a firm foundation for themselves, never take deep root. Like trees with shallow roots, they put out leaves for a while, but they sway in the wind and the storms uproot them. Their branches snap off before they mature, and their fruit never ripens. And it is good for nothing. On Judgment Day, children born of a forbidden union will testify to the sin of their parents and act as witnesses against them. I mean, that's harsh. Righteous people, however, will find rest. And so then I'll finish it, will find rest even if they die young. We honor old age, but not just because a person has lived a long time. Wisdom and righteousness are signs of maturity that should come with old age. So this righteousness, when you look up these verses right here, Deuteronomy 23:2, Isaiah 57:3-4, Galatians 3:29, it talks about the spiritual lineage, not the birth status. That's what it references back to this and says that. And then also, it kind of, when I did a little bit of research on this is more about the obedience to the covenant. So maybe it's not to be taken literally, but it's there, right? It's there. So, example of Enoch. Once there was a man named Enoch who pleased God, and God loved him. While Enoch was still alive amongst sinners, God took him away, so that evil and falsehoods could not corrupt his mind and soul. We all know that people can be fascinated by evil, that they cannot recognize what is good, even when they are looking right at it. Innocent people can be so corrupt with desire that they can think of nothing but what they want. This man Enoch achieved in a few years. This man Enoch achieved in a few years' time a perfection that other people could not obtain in a complete lifetime. The Most High was pleased with Enoch's life and quickly took him out of this wicked world. People were aware of his departure, but didn't understand. They never seemed to learn the lesson that God is kind and merciful to his own people. He protects those whom he has chosen. The faith of the wicked. Even when righteous people are dead and gone, they put it to shame the wicked people who live on after them. In their old age, the wicked will be disgraced by young people who have already achieved perfection. The wise may die young, but the wicked will never understand that this is the Most High's way of taking them off to safety. They make light of a wise person's death, but the Most High will soon be laughing at them. When they die, they will not be given an honorable burial. I thought that was interesting right there. When they die, they will not be given an honorable burial. Because one of the things that I've been working on, I don't know, since 2001, something called the Black Folder Project, which is helping people understand that they know they're going to die. That's what we all know that. It's silly to me to not talk about it, think about it, and make sure when you do die, you don't leave the people who love you in a bind. Meaning that you have taken care of, one, how you want to be buried, the money to be buried. You have documents in place for all the crap you have and the stuff you want to give to other people. Everybody knows what the deal is. You've done what you're supposed to do. I cannot tell you. So I say that because, I say that because, a part of the project is, I provide this information to people. So I went to, what is it called? Like a place where you put in the ground, whatever that's called. I went there 2 months ago and, set up an appointment, made the appointment, sat with the lady, looked at the cost of everything. She took me on a golf cart around the ground so you can see where you want to be, your final resting place to be. After all was said and done, do you know how much that cost? $15,000, right? So I never knew that piece of it because my family has a burial ground in Danville, Virginia, where everybody who dies is buried. Like, what? People are paying a cost of a car to be put in the ground, but that's what they're given an honorable burial, right? Right. This day and time, it's about, do you have the money? Let me get back to this because it'll take me forever to get through this if I don't. But that was interesting. Even the dead will hold them in scorn and disgust forever. God will throw them to the ground and make them speechless. Like buildings shake from the foundation, they will be reduced to piles of ruin. They will be in torment. People will soon forget all about them. They will come in fear to the judgment, where their sins will be counted. They will stand condemned by their own lawless actions. And then I wrote, what will be left when you're gone? Like, really, you're gone. Will people still be talking about you? Did you do anything? Did you leave anything behind? I mean, for real. Like, what will you have left behind? Don't tell me about a job. Don't tell me about that. What did you do to say you were here? But people are still talking about it. Where you impacted people. What is it? I mean, otherwise, what's the friggin' point? And make sure it's something that is virtuous, right? All right, that was chapter 4 of the Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 5, the regrets of the wicked. On that day, the righteous man, full of confidence, will stand before those who oppressed him and make light of his labors. They will be amazed to see him safe, and will tremble with terrible fear. Then they will regret what they did, and groan with groaning and anguish. They will say to each other, "This is the man we made fun of? We thought he was a joke? What fools we were! We thought he was crazy to live the way he did, and when he died we didn't honor him. And now here he is, one of the Most High's own children, with a place of his own amongst the Most High's people. We were the ones who wandered off the right road. We never lived in the light of righteousness. We never caught the first glimmer of the light. All of our lives we wandered across unmarked deserts, instead of following the road which the Most High wanted us to travel. And this lawlessness led us to ruin. We were so proud of ourselves, we bragged about how rich we were. And now what good has that done us? All those things are gone now. And they have disappeared like a shadow, like something you hear and then forget. The ship sails across the waves of the ocean, but when it's gone, it leaves no trace. You cannot tell it was ever there. A bird flies through the air, but leaves no sign that it has been there. It speeds along, riding through the thin air, but the force of the winds leaving behind no trace of its passing. An arrow splits the air. An arrow splits the air when it is shot at a target, but at once the air closes up behind it, and no one can tell where it passed. It is the same with us. We were born, and then we ceased to be. We left no sign of virtue behind us. We were destroyed by our wickedness. What hope do we wicked people have? Only the hope of straw drawn about in the wind, the hope of ocean foam that disappears in the storm, the hope of smoke in the breeze. Their hope lasts no longer than our memory of a guest who stays one night and leaves the next. And then this whole section right here was just like, I want to put it all to memory. But the righteous live on forever. The Most High will reward them. The Most High will protect them. He will give them royal splendor and a magnificent crown. He will shield them with his powerful arm. He will go out into battle determined to defeat his enemies and use the creation itself as weapons. These are things that the Most High will do for the righteous. Righteousness will be his armor. Genuine justice will be his helmet. Holiness will be his invincible shield. And he will sharpen his stern anger into the sword. And the forces of nature, like the wind and the rain and the floods, will join him in battle against those who are foolish enough to oppose him. Bolts of lightning will strike right on target, as if the Most High had made a bow out of the clouds and was shooting arrows. Hailstorms will beat down on his enemies with a terrible force. Oceans and rivers will come rushing over them in devastating flood. We've already seen that. Great windstorms will blow them away like straw. Lawlessness will be the ruin of the whole world. Evil actions will cause governments to fall. Oh, I mean, that's deep. Let's see, how far are we going here? We're going to go to we're going to do one more chapter at least. Or two more maybe. Chapter 6. The responsibility of rulers. 7. You kings, you rulers, the world over, listen to what I say and learn from it. You govern many lands and are proud that so many people are under your rule. But this authority has been given to you by the Lord Most High. He will examine what you have done and what you plan to do. You rule on behalf of the Most High and his kingdom. And if you do not govern justly, if you do not uphold the law, if you do not live according to the Most High's will, you will suffer sudden and a terrible punishment. Judgment is especially severe on those in power. Common people may be mercilessly forgiven for their wrongs, but those in power will face a severe judgment. The Most High of all is not afraid of anyone, no matter how great he is. He himself made everyone great and common alike, and he provides for all equally. But he will judge the conduct of rulers more strictly. It is for you, mighty kings, that I write these words, so that you may know how to act wisely and avoid mistakes. These are holy matters, and if you treat them in a holy manner for yourselves, you yourselves will be considered holy. If you have learned this lesson, you will be able to defend yourselves at the judgment. So then, make my teaching your treasure and joy, and you will be well instructed. The value of wisdom. Wisdom shines bright and never grows dim. Those who love her and look for her can easily find her. She is quick to make herself known to anyone who desires her. Get up early in the morning to find her, and you will have no problem. And you will find her sitting at your door. To fasten your attention on wisdom is to gain perfect understanding. If you look at her, you will soon find peace of mind, because she will be looking for those who are worthy of her, and she will find you wherever you are. She is kind and will be with you in your every thought. Wisdom begins when you sincerely want to learn. To desire wisdom is to love her. To love her is to keep her laws. To keep her laws is to be certain of immortality. Immortality will bring you close to the Most High. This desire for wisdom can prepare you to rule a kingdom. So then, you that rule the nations, if you value your thrones and symbols of authority, honor wisdom, so that you may rule forever. Wisdom is a her. You see why they may have not wanted people to put that together, right? Solomon wishes to share his wisdom. I will tell you what wisdom is, and how she came to be. I will not keep anything secret. I will trace her history from the beginning and make knowledge of her open to all. I will not ignore any part of the truth. No jealous desire to guard my own knowledge will make me hold back anything. Wisdom has nothing in common with such an attitude. No, indeed. The more wise people there are, the safer the world will be. A sensible king can be depended on to give his people this kind of security. So then, learn what I'm about to teach you, and you will profit from it. That was chapter 6. Chapter 7. A king is like everyone else. Like every other human being, I'm mortal. This is like Solomon teaching. I am a descendant of the first man who was made from the soil. I was conceived from the sperm of a man in the pleasure of intercourse. For 9 months my flesh took shape in the blood of my mother's womb. When I was born, I came into the world like anyone else. I began to breathe the same air we all breathe. And like everyone else, the first sound I made was a cry. I was wrapped in clothes and cared for. No king ever began life differently. King, president, ruler. For all of us, there is one way into life, and there is one way out. Solomon declares his love for wisdom. Realizing that I'm a man, I prayed and was given understanding. The spirit of wisdom came to me. I regarded her more highly than any throne or crown. Wealth was nothing compared to her. Precious jewels could not equal her worth. Besides wisdom, all the gold in the world is a handful of sand, and silver is nothing more than clay. I value her more than health and good looks. Hers is a brightness that never grows down, and I prefer it to any other light. When wisdom came to me, all good things came with her. She brought me untold riches. I was happy with them all because wisdom has brought them to me. I had not realized before that she was the source of all these things. I was sincere in learning from her, and now I am glad to share what I learned. No one can exhaust the treasures of wisdom. Use those treasures, and you are Most High's friends. He approves of what you learn from her. I pray to the Most High that my thoughts may be worthy of what I have learned, and that I may speak accordingly to his will. He is wisdom's guide. He gives correction to those who are wise. We are under his power and authority. We ourselves, our words, all of our understanding and skills. It is he who gave me true knowledge of the forces of nature, what the world is made of, how the elements behave, how the calendar is determined by the movement of the sun, the changing seasons, the constellations, and the cycles of years. He has taught me about the nature of living creatures, the behavior of wild animals, the force of the winds, the reasoning powers of human beings, the different kinds of plants, and the use of their roots as medicine. I learned things that were well known and things that had never been known before, because wisdom, who gave shape to everything that exists, was my teacher. The nature of wisdom. The spirit of wisdom is intelligent and holy. It is of one nature, but reveals itself in many ways. It is not made of any material substance, and it moves about freely. It is clear, clean, and confident. It cannot be harmed. It loves what is good, it's sharp, and it's unconquerable, kind, and a friend of humanity. It is dependable for sure, and has no worries. It has power over everything and sees everything. It penetrates every spirit that is intelligent and pure, no matter how delicate its substance may be. Wisdom moves more easily than motion itself. She is so pure that she penetrates everything. She is a breath of the Most High's power, pure and radiant stream of glory from the Almighty. Nothing that is defiled can ever steal its way into wisdom. She is a reflection of eternal light, a perfect mirror of the Most High's activity and goodness. Even though wisdom acts alone, she can do anything. She can do anything. She makes everything new, although she herself never changes. From generation to generation, she enters the souls of holy people and makes them the Most High's friends and prophets. There is nothing that God loves more than people who are at home with wisdom. Wisdom is more beautiful than the sun and all the constellations. She is better than light itself, because night always follows day, but evil never overcomes wisdom. Chapter 8. Her great power reaches unto every part of the world, and she sets everything in useful order. Solomon's love of wisdom. Wisdom has been my love. I courted her when I was young and wanted to make her my bride. I fell in love with her beauty. She glorifies her noble origin by living with the Most High, the Lord of all, who loves her. She is familiar with the Most High's mysteries and helps determine his course of action. It is good to have riches in this life. Nothing can make you richer than wisdom, who makes everything function. Is knowledge a useful thing to have? Nothing is better than wisdom, who has given shape to everything that exists. Do you love justice? All the virtues are the result of wisdom's work. Justice and courage, self-control and understanding. Life can offer us nothing more valuable than these. Do you want to have wide experience? Wisdom knows the lessons of history and can anticipate the future. She knows how to interpret what people say and how to solve problems. She knows the miracles that God will perform and how the movements of history will develop. So, I decided to take wisdom home to live with me. because I knew that she would give me good advice and encourage me in times of trouble and grief. I thought to myself, because of her, I will be honored wherever people come together. The old men will respect me, even though I'm young. They will find that my opinions show deep insight, and those in power will admire me. When I'm silent, they will wait for me to speak. And when I speak, they'll pay attention. Even when I speak at length, they will listen with concentration. Because of wisdom, I will gain immortality. I will live forever in the memory of those who come after me. I will hold power over nations and peoples. Dreaded tyrants will be seized with fear at the mention of my name. I will be famous as a good king and a brave soldier. When I come home to wisdom, I will find contentment because there is no conflict or pain in living with her, only happiness and joy. And so I thought it over. To be wedded to wisdom is to live forever. To love her, to be perfectly happy, to do her work is to be rich beyond measure. To share her company is to have sound judgment. To converse with her is to be honored. Then I was determined to take wisdom as my bride. I had a pleasant personality, even as a child. I had been fortunate enough to receive a good soul, or rather, I was given a sound body to live in because I was already good. Still, I realized that I would never receive wisdom unless the Most High gave her to me. And knowing that only the Most High could give her to me was itself a sign of understanding. So I prayed, begged the Most High with all my heart. And we are going to read this prayer in the next video. The next video. This one is at the 27-minute mark. That was interesting. About wisdom. I mean, he personified wisdom as a wife that he could marry and be wedded to. And Solomon got wisdom that helps us understand the value of wisdom, right? I'm going to color this picture. It's this is a man that we make fun of, right? They're like, this is the man we made fun of, and this is the man that, like, they'll be saying about us. These Negroes are the people we kept down. These are God's people. I mean, that's. I mean, it's happening now. Honestly, it's already kind of in the works where people are like, wait a minute, why are these Negroes saying that they are the chosen people? And they're quoting these scripture verses, and somehow it seems like they might be. People don't want to admit it, though. That's a tough thing to admit. I'm trying to get used to my nails. I mean, really, I'm trying to get used to them. I look down and I don't recognize my hands because I'm so used to not having color on it like that. Especially not gold. These are the people that we brought into reproach. What? I can't even look at them. They're going to be like, man, we were wrong. We were dead wrong. Yeah, you were. But you knew you were wrong. You knew you were wrong when you were treating black people or Negroes wrong. I can't even say black people anymore. It doesn't even make sense to me. Negroes make sense to me. That's Negroes, you know exactly who I'm talking about when I say Negroes. When I say black people, that confuses it. It's a nothing. Negroes, yeah, I know exactly. And I know green is probably not a color that they were wearing. But it feels like a color. I want to color it. But it's happening. I mean, it's been a long time coming for it to get to this point where people are questioning who the real Israelites are and why they've been lied to. You know, I've got friends that still go to church, and I ask them how church was and stuff like that. All the time thinking, good grief. Like, are you really still there? But everybody is waking up at their own time. Some people will never wake up. And just pray for them. Just pray for them. Because it's a hard thing. It's a really hard thing. I remember coming out of the Church of Christ, I don't know, 20 years ago. I had to detox from it, honestly. I'll never forget it. It was like back in like 2004 or something like that. It was this website called Leaving the Church of Christ. And I used to go to it every day after work. It was like people who had left and what they were going through, I was going. This is like a withdrawal. Like you think they tell you that if you don't go to the Church of Christ, that's the only true church, that, you're going straight to hell. And so you're kind of thinking that's the truth. Because they're using the Bible, scriptures. So I get it. Like people that go to church now, I get it. They've been going for a long time. They don't want to stop now. I get it. But, you got to change when you know you're doing wrong. So I just pray that I stay doing what I'm supposed to do, which this is helping, So that was the wisdom of Solomon. That's a great, great, great information. Great information about wisdom and wanting wisdom. So until next time, this is Ridea keeping it real.